What's up everyone, welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to be pressing some shirts using the Heat Press Nation 16x20 Auto, along with some Plastisol transfers that I ordered from TKO and Supercolor. So I'm going to show you guys what it's like to be working in the shop. And yeah, I'm just going to do some restock and show you guys the process. Let's go. All right, so first thing we got to do is we got to cut this box open. So I got this little cloud guy right here. And we got a shipment from Lane 7. Do a little bit of cutting and we'll get to work after we QC the shirts. Because we want to make sure that the blanks, oops, I just missed that. We want to make sure that the blanks are all good and there's no issues with the prints because they are tie-dyes. So there's going to be some discrepancies, but most of the time, as long as it doesn't look terrible, I print on them, and if they're bad, their customer service takes care of it. So this is their acid wash / vintage dye line. I really like them because it's 4.3 ounce. The fit is nice and they size accordingly to the dyes, meaning that they don't mess up the sizing. A lot of places, if you order a large, it's actually a medium because when you dye stuff, it shrinks, but their larges are true larges. So it's nice to know that. They do run a little long, so make sure you test them out if you want to use them, but I do really like these shirts. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to go through each shirt, make sure that the pattern looks good because some of my customers don't like it when there's huge splotches of black. So this shirt looks awesome, got the pattern throughout, and this one's good. So we're gonna do that to all the shirts. So we'll do some sort of time lapse to make this less boring for you. Okay, for example, this one, this giant black mark, I know a customer won't like this, so I'm gonna put this into the pile that has to be redone or reshipped out because yeah, they're not gonna like this. I already know that my customer is gonna ask for a refund, so this is gonna go in the pile that needs to be reshipped. So that's one medium. This one's kind of questionable too. Giant black spotch on the top. I'll put this in the question mark pile. Yeah, what the heck? The larges are not looking good right now. Hey, look at this one. It's like a half just solid black shirt. So yeah, this is not good. Not a good batch. I mean, this one, they're questionable. Like, I always ask myself, if I saw the picture on the product page and I got this, would I complain? That's like the way I look at it. And customers do understand this is random, but I also understand that if something looks very different, it's like, I'm not gonna sell it, you know? So, all right, well, it's probably the worst one out of the batch, but there's always gonna be a few that are not good. Some of them have cool patterns. Like this one is kind of off looking, but it's cool because it looks very different. Some people dig this. Like I think it's very batch focused. So each bag that you see has 12 shirts per bag. So typically if the bag starts off good, the rest are good. But if it starts off a little rough, we might be in for a rough experience with the shirts. All right, we're done QAQCing the shirts. Let's get to the next part. As y'all know from my other video, I hate boxes. So I try to get rid of this as quick as I can. And I put this by the exit queue. This is the dumpster queue. And then here are the shirts. And then here's some extras that I had from before. I actually put the complete pieces on this rack and then, yeah, I just kind of refill it. And then the rest are over here. We got it on the racks. And I think it's that one or that one. One of them has the rest of the shirts. And then now we're gonna fire at the press. So we're gonna be pressing some hot peeled Plastisol transfers. So this is one of them from TKO. This is their second tier, I think, Sports Plus, one color, one of my favorite transfers next to their Premium Plus option. So yeah, not an endorsement being paid, but just saying that I really do like their transfers. So we're gonna be pressing this, and we got some other one color stuff from not TKO, from Supercolor. So I use them for different purposes. I found that the super color whites actually do a little bit better with some dye migration because as you guys saw the shirts, they're tie-dyed or acid wash. So I've noticed that some of the TKO ones over time, the ink does seep through, but the super color ones seem to be doing really good. So I do like the super color one better for this purpose. And for placement, I use this guy. I've been pressing shirts for over a year, but I still use this just to make sure because I don't mind taking an extra little bit of time to make sure everything looks good. So this is from Amazon. I don't know what the exact link is, but just a placement guide, and it makes sure that your logo is in the right spot. So if you don't have one of these, I highly suggest getting this. So we're still waiting for this press to heat up, but just for sake of getting this video going, I'm gonna show you all how I calibrate my pressure and make sure that the shirt is ready for pressing. So we're gonna load this up. Since it's a front design, I'm not gonna thread it because I don't like reversing it. I'm used to seeing the garment this way, so just go with whatever you're comfortable with. I know screen printers do it the other way, and I do have the threadability here, as you guys see. So if I wanted to do the back hit, or if I wanted to thread it, it's possible, but I like to work straight. Make sure that the collar is out of the way. So push it behind. And then for now, let's just check the pressure. So make sure it's flat, centered, press it in. And I've noticed that there's a little bit of residue from the past project that I did. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of wipe. I noticed that this residue doesn't transfer onto clothing, so that's why I'm not doing anything about it, but it does feel a little bit safer knowing that it's off. And yeah, we're gonna press it, calibrate the pressure. So this is I would say this is right now out of a 10, maybe like 8, something like that. And I can tell because the way this latches down and then the sound that it makes. So to know how hard you can press something, turn it all the way to the right and then try to push it down and it won't latch down. So that's how you know you're exceeding the max pressure. So if we turn this left a little bit, that should be a solid 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. And yeah, it's a lot louder, so you can tell that the pressure and the tension is a lot higher than previously. So yeah, that sounds good to me. So we're just gonna wait until it heats up and then yeah, I'll show you guys how to do the placement and everything. So while I wait for this to heat up, let's talk about why I like using this transfer and not any other transfers. So first of all, I really like the way this comes out on clothing, like just the look and feel. Feels like the closest to screen print to me because it is actual Plastisol and not vinyl or film. And that's why I prefer to use their TKO's Plastisol transfer. Just because I've tested the other brands and yeah, they come close, but this one is really, really good. Howard also has a really good Plastisol transfer. So if you guys have never heard of Howard, I highly recommend you check them out. Amazing customer service. Shout out to Kelly, who's my sales rep there. She's been killing it for me and I really like working with them. So that was a double positive for me, going to impression and finding someone that's really great to work with and also has awesome products. So shout out to Howard. And this doesn't mean that you shouldn't try any other products. Like I'm just using these because I've tested 5 or 6 brands and this resonates the most with what I want to create. Everyone's opinion, preference, and likeliness of nice differs per person. So get your own stuff and test it out because I can't be the only one that's going to tell you this is good, right? So just get the sample pack because at the end of the day, if you pay $10 to $20 for a sample and you know you don't like it, that's way better than spending $100 on a batch order and you hate the entire sheet. So get your samples and start pressing some new stuff today. The best way to know how to center this is you want to fold this in half. So make sure that your artwork is folded and not the paper because the paper is most of the time not accurate to where the artwork is. So I give it a little fold right here. So now I know where the center is. And this is important because this is a center press. So if the center's off, it's gonna look crooked and it's gonna look terrible. So yeah, make sure you find that true center of your artwork and not the center based on the piece of paper or the transfer paper. And again, I'm gonna be using this. So let's move the camera over and I'll show you guys what this looks like from my point of view. All right, so the press is ready to go. We got our transfer folded and ready. So let's go work with the placement. So we bring it back out thanks to the slide out drawer. I like to bring the collar up like this because don't be deceived by the tag. The tag is never centered 100% of the time and it might throw you off. So this is only for demonstration. I usually move a lot faster, obviously, but I'll bring the collar up like this. Make sure that you are centered. If you don't have this, you just go 3 inches down from the chest and that's usually a pretty good spot. So drop that and then you can see here, this line is parallel to the end of the platen. So that's how I know it's straight if I didn't have this. But we're gonna bring this now, the artwork, oops, wrong one. I'll bring the artwork here. I'm gonna slide it down just a little bit because the artwork, even though the top of the artwork is here, the general size of the artwork starts underneath this little, so this is house in Japanese. And even though this is the highest point of the artwork, I like to bring it down because the artwork actually starts, like the general size and bulk of the artwork starts a little bit lower than that. So I don't mind if this starts a little bit higher so that it naturally gets pushed down by the height difference. That makes sense. So we're gonna press that down. That looks straight to me. We're gonna remove this and then bring up the collar one more time. And that looks a little bit to the left. So I'm gonna bring this a little bit more to the right here. Push it down. Okay, collar looks straight. This looks straight. And then this is a hot peel, 10 seconds, 320 Fahrenheit, hard pressure. So we're just gonna go for it, hope for the best. And yeah, let's press it down. And it stays, so that's good. And then once we're done, I like to keep my hand on this just because that way when it auto releases, it doesn't like shake the entire apartment. So I do that. It's a hot peel, grab the corner, like a Band-Aid, rip that off. Then I got parchment paper, push it back in there, give it a second press. And then while we do that, I typically will throw away the transfer sheet. And this one, I don't have to press it for 12 seconds. So I'm just gonna release it early. And then here we are. Here we are, house shirt. Beautifully done. Plastisol, TKO, one color, pretty sick. So here's a close-up on the Plastisol. You can see like there's no ghosting. It's really, really solid. Like I don't see any other Plastisol transfers besides the Howard one that does this. So if you're looking for a one color Plastisol transfer, I highly recommend this one. And we zoom out. And it looks good. We nailed it. All right, so we got the shirt here, perfectly centered, perfectly lined up. I'm glad I didn't mess it up for the video because if I messed it up, that would have made me a little sad, but these shirts aren't that expensive, so I would have just given it to someone or donated it. So not the end of the world, but it's always nice to not mess up a shirt. But anyway, so profitability of this shirt, these shirts come out to be around $5.25, I think, or $6-ish with shipping. So $6 plus the Plastisol transfer. Let's just say it costs like 25 cents to 50 cents max because this is on a gang sheet. So I can't give you the exact pricing, but I'm guessing it's probably like 25 cents. So if you sell for $25, 25 minus 6 plus 25 cents. Let's just say it's $6 so it's easier. So 25 minus 6 is 19. So $19 profit. And then if you got to pay Shopify fee, it's 2.9% for your credit card and then 30 cents per transaction. And I think Etsy takes off about, what is it? Like 12.5% or something like that. So let's just say that's like $3 or $4 off. So you probably make around $15 a shirt selling this at 25. And it's a tie-dye / acid dye, so people don't mind paying a little bit more. So yeah, I highly recommend selling this shirt. It's one of my best sellers and people love it. Haven't heard any complaints besides the pattern issues, which I addressed earlier. So if you're gonna sell this shirt, just make sure to go through all the blanks that you get and identify any defects or a lot of spotches that don't look good, and just contact their customer service and get it replaced or get refunded because it's better to solve that issue before you sell anything. If y'all wanna learn more about how to do this, hit me up in the DMs or comments and let me know what you wanna learn. But this is basically what I do with the one color transfers. Just super simple, get the artwork prepared on a gang sheet, send it off to the shop, get it printed, cut up the sheets, and then you got a shirt that you can sell online. Pretty crazy. But anyway, thank you all for joining me today. I know that this video is a little bit different, but I hope you all liked it. Let me know what you learned, what you want to see more of. And as always, you can find my stuff on my site, iCanDoIt.shop. My socials are iCanDoIt.studio. And if you want to book one-on-one consultation sessions, you can hit me up in the comments, DMs. I'm there every day, so let me know and we can get your brand up and running. And that's about it for today, y'all. Thank you all for coming, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.